everybody, it is Randy with Carchaeology, and I am out here this morning in front of the lab, and I have both of the Brubaker boxes parked out here nose to nose. The green one that we restored a few years back, that's been in storage here at the lab. I pulled it out of the corner, cleaned it off, and parked it out front. And then the new arrival here, the San Diego-based Automecha sports van that we're going to be advertising on our website, oldbug.com. So this is a really rare opportunity to see two of these in one spot, and I just absolutely am blown away with it. And it's fun to see the variations between the two. Now this one, of course, I know very intimately because I restored it. And there were a lot of things on this that were missing when we got it. So some of it I just did the best I could with, not being able to find original pieces. Whereas the gold one here started out as a really spectacular original example, and its owner about 18 years ago now or so, did a full restoration on this and restored it back to original specs. But the dream of this one is that it's got all of the right trim. This aluminum extruded trim with a little rubber insert, all of that was missing on the green one, and so I had to use just a real simple black trim for that. Other stuff was available, like we were missing the windshield and the windshield trim. That's from an AMC Hornet. And so I managed to find a new windshield and find some used trim and polish that up and go. So that matches up real nice. The one thing that's interesting, though, that I noticed here is the front bumper. Now, the controversial front bumper is a big part of the Brubaker box. And originally in the design, they really put it out there for safety. And the plan was to put a spare tire in this space there so that it would allow for a little crumple zone there, or at least a little added support to the front of it. Considering that it's all fiberglass, there's not a whole lot of structure there. It's super strong for a fiberglass body, don't get me wrong, and the fact that you're sitting way on back here obviously keeps you fairly safe. But having the bumper out front there definitely protects the nose of the car, and same for the rear. On this particular one, though, it's got a tubular bracket there that is actually welded to the front beam. Where on this one, it was done in flat steel. So that was kind of interesting to see the difference between those two. Now, both of these cars were ones that were built by Automecha, that was under the direction of Mike Hansen. Now, Mike Hansen was an investor in the original Brubaker box concept that obviously went south quite quickly. So the story, for those that don't know it, is that Curtis Brubaker and two of his compatriots from Art Center in California here came up with the concept for the Brubaker box and thought that they were going to revolutionize the world with it. So the whole idea was to have something that was very multi-capable. You could use it for a variety of different things. You could haul the family in it. You could haul your stuff in it. If you're a pizza delivery guy, you could fill it full of pizzas. If you were a surfer, you could put your surfboards in it. And if you were a swanky hipster, you could put your girlfriend or your date in the back seat back there. But in any case, it was a great concept, and the design obviously is spectacular. In fact, it still kind of looks modern today, even in these 70s colors. It has a futuristic look to it, so much so that it was used in some science fiction films back in the day. In any case, I digress. What happened financially with the company was once they realized that they couldn't purchase new Volkswagen chassis and running gear from VW, they had to buy complete cars to take apart and dispose of the body. And that just took the wind out of their sails. I think they were really hoping that they could just buy the pieces that they need from VW in order to make these cars. And they just couldn't. And it sucked because they got massive press when these things came out. They drew a ton of attention on the cover of Car and Driver magazine, as well as other magazines as well. I remember seeing one of these at an auto show in Los Angeles when I was just a kid, and I thought it was the coolest damn car on the planet Earth. And I even bugged the sales rep until he gave me one of the brochures, which I've kept my whole life, and here I am almost 60 now. When I came across this one, it was in really, really poor shape. In fact, it was just the body. There was no chassis at all, missing a bunch of parts. A friend of mine, Mike, found it in the background of a picture of a boat online for sale, and he inquired about it, bought it, shared pictures with me, and I lost my frickin' mind. So we worked each other for a deal. I ended up buying it and doing a full restoration on that right here at the lab. In fact, you should check out all the videos on the process of that. It was a great adventure. It was super, super fun to do. And obviously the results are fantastic. Now, when I was done with this, I sold it quite quickly. Didn't get a chance to really enjoy it much. I was in a position where I needed the funds quickly due to a family matter. And so I put it up for sale on eBay and then promoted the heck out of the sale. It ended up selling for just shy of $70,000, which is an awful lot for a Volkswagen kit car. But then again, it is really more than that. It's a bit of an icon, and certainly something that is highly prized by collectors of design and just interesting cars all around. So the buyer of this particular car was based in Germany. And so he purchased the car. He wanted to keep it here in California to bring it out to some major events. We brought it up to Monterey Car Week, showed it at several events up there. Got a lot of recognition, won a couple trophies up there. And then after that adventure, it went to the Peterson Museum, where it was on display in the museum on one of the main floors for, it was almost a year and a half. In fact, I've got the sign here from the display at the Peterson sitting in the windshield. So after Peterson was done with it, it needed to go somewhere. We were trying hard to find another place to put it, another museum. And we had a couple of prospects that ended up not panning out. And so I just went and got it, put it here in the lab, and for the past 10 months or so, it's just been in storage here, which is okay. It's nice. I get a chance to see it, and it's very, very cool looking. But really, I'd love for the owner to take it and do something fun with it, because it really needs to be out where it can be seen, not just jammed here in the corner of the lab. But the cool factor of having it here is when this one popped up, well, I've now got two of them here at the lab, which is just fantastic. So this particular car, as I mentioned before, it's owned by a gentleman in San Diego. He is an absolute passionate owner of it. He's just in a situation where it needs to find a home. The car's been sitting for a little bit, so I offered to bring it back here to the lab, get it up and running and driving and cleaned up and prepared for sale. So I've got a fresh battery in it. I still need a little bit of tuning because there's some old gas in it, but we've detailed it all up, and fairly quickly we're going to put this thing up for sale on my website, oldbug.com, and see where it goes. But before that happens, I definitely wanted to get the two together for some photos and just to kind of take this all in. And this is a really, really crazy situation to be able to have two of these right here in my driveway out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to open up the door here, show you the inside of the gold one. I'll probably do the same real quick of the green one as well. Now, this was one thing here. The original locking unit is here on that. So you push that in, open up the door. And the interior of this one is really super slick. So the seats in this apparently are the original seats that came in the Brubaker, which is super cool. I did not have those for the green car, so I just found something very close. It's interesting to look at the mounting here, this kind of triangular shaped ramp right there. It's actually wood underneath there that's wrapped in metal, and that's the way they did it back in the day. He's got a MP trigger shifter in here, which is a cool piece. and a big upgrade in the pedal assembly. This is a modern hydraulic pedal assembly that, quite frankly, ergonomically is so much better than trying to use the VW one that I've got in the green car. I did some modifications to it so that it actually works, but this is a much, much better system. This car is significantly easier to drive. I love the old wood rim steering wheel. That is just proper vintage. The VDO cockpit gauges in here are just fantastic. Cool old speakers. I dig the radio. This is not only an AM, FM, it's also an 8-track and a CB. And it's got the microphone right there clipped on the dash. Headlight switches, that sort of thing right there. Pretty simple. Cool little wood handle sleeve for the handbrake. Totally badass. I love the upholstery work that was done in here with that cool little quilted sort of sunburst design there. And that continues into the back here as well with the sort of fat biscuit style stitching. And then of course the wraparound rear seat in here. Some other fun stuff that the owner did. He made this little faux 8-track tape with a Brubaker information and image on it. That's one of the images from one of the sales brochures. There's some other sales brochures and information here that come with it as well. Car and Driver magazine cover, etc. So that is the interior of the gold one. It's pretty damn slick. Now, mechanically, this one's also been upgraded a fair bit. It's got disc brakes in the front. It's got a performance motor out back. It's a 2-liter with dual Delorto carburetors on it. Absolutely sounds the beast and has a ton of power in comparison to the green car. The green car I ended up doing just stock 1600 in it for reliability. It's got the stock drum brakes on it and things like that. Now, I've got the slot mags, the original style slot mags on the green car, where on the gold one, there are these incredible wood spoke wheels. This was a real low production wheel. He found a set of new old stock ones. And it's a cool look, and it's kind of neat to see the wood on the wheels that catches the wood on the bumpers as well. And the added bonus is that there's a full set of slot mags like these that come with that car. So if you wanted to go back to what it looked like on the magazine covers and stuff, you could do that very, very easily. Another massively cool part about the gold one is that it has the removable sunroof panel. So this is set up like a moonroof. It's out of a smoked plexiglass, and there are little clips in there so you can remove that whole panel and have a big open sunroof, which is pretty damn cool and definitely helps with ventilation in there, something that's kind of lacking in these cars. So on the green one, as you can see, it's just this panel is still there. It's a part of the roof, but it was designed with this divot there so that it could be cut out and turned into a sunroof. That was one of the options that was available. So you could do that with this. I suppose you could cut that out and do a similar panel on that. So I'm going to open up this one here. You can see instead of the locking switch, I did a little button there. It basically operates the same way, but I was missing that lock mechanism and couldn't find it. In here I went with a brown vinyl and some crazy green shag carpet. The dash layout, fairly simple. These are old MP gauges that are in here. Which are pretty cool period pieces, an empty steering wheel and stuff as well. Cool old speakers. I too went with an 8-track player with a little Superfly Curtis Mayfield in the deck. But I've just got that there for looks. It's not functional. The one thing that the green car has that none of the other Brubakers have is the in-dash ice chest. So that was something that was mentioned in the sales brochure as an option, but only one car was ever done with it, and that is this one. So you can kind of see the differences between the two. Both of them are spectacular pieces. I absolutely love the green one personally, but then again, my opinion is quite biased because I put so much time and effort into that. But in comparing the two, the gold one is better in many, many ways. And those ways are mostly in originality. It's got all the right stuff. It's probably the most pure of the Brubaker boxes when it comes to being in its original format with all of the right little pieces on it. And it's a really, really spectacular car that hopefully is going to find a great home soon. And I would love for this car to go someplace where it can be seen, whether it goes to a museum where it can be shared with others, or with an enthusiastic owner that wants to bring it out and play with it to shows and things like that. I mean, these cars attract an absolutely mind-blowing amount of attention. I've spent my whole life going to car shows with interesting machines, but the Brubaker box hits different. It is really an incredible design that attracts people of all walks of life, from housewives to bikers, from little kids to old guys. Everybody comes and looks at it and tries to figure out what it is. And maybe it's because it's so different and it's something that people haven't seen that it pulls folks in. But whatever the reason, people absolutely love it. Now, a lot of people comment on the bumpers. They go, oh, that looks like a mistake. And sure, you could change bumpers, you could do something like that, but that's not the way that it was originally designed. You look at this original image here, big wood bumper right out front. And it's a part of the quirky bit of the design that, to me, I don't think I would ever change. I love the big goofy wood bumpers, and the fact that they're not even wood. That's just fiberglass with a faux wood finish on it. And to me, I think it's really cool. In any case, I wanted to do just a quick walk around, share a little Brubaker box story, and capture this amazing opportunity to have two of these things right here in my driveway. Never would have expected that to happen. I've searched my whole life for one of these cars, and when I found this one, it blew my mind. I absolutely had to jump on it, and it was a great adventure to restore it and make it into a car. And, you know, I'm a fixer. I'm not a collector. I can't keep everything. And at the time, there was a situation where I needed some funds, and so I put it up for sale. And it sold quickly. And the new owner of it is very excited to be an owner of it. He's just unfortunately on the other side of the earth. So this one here, going to be up for grabs soon. Honestly, I wish I could afford it myself, because I would frickin' buy it. Or I might try to buy the green one back from the guy I sold it to or something, but it's just not in the cards. But it is in the cards for both of these to be here right now, and for me to get a chance to stand back and go, holy crap, there are two Brubaker boxes in my driveway. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the walk around the Brubaker box, or the Auto Mecha sports van, however you want to call it. Here's two of them in one spot. Something you'll probably not ever see again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep on digging them up and driving them. Bye-bye.